part of this process is writing. Okay, when you have the urge, you want to start writing. Write how you feel, where you feel it, where it is in your body. Is it in your chest here? Is it in your head mostly? Is it, where exactly is it? How big is it? What does it feel like? Almost acts like you're describing it to an alien who has no idea what human emotions feel like, because these feelings and these urges, they're just like an energy, a vibration in your body, right? And they can't hurt you. An urge, it cannot hurt you. Um, Ultimately, it's just vibrations in your body, right? So if you feel tight and frustrated while you're trying to do this, then you're actually resisting it, okay? If you try to get away from it or distract yourself with whatever, then you are avoiding it in that case. And then if you reward it, you are reacting, okay? So we want to get away from resisting and reacting and avoiding and work on allowing, giving it permission to be there. Take deep breaths while you do it. Really focus on good exhales. Um, and start getting to know what it's like, okay? And then you can sit with it without rewarding it. So what happens when you do this is your brain starts to realize that when you have this urge, it's not going to get that reward. So you start doing this even just a few times, and you're going to notice a difference. You do it a lot of times, you can get to the point where you do not desire that, you don't have that conditioned desire over desire for porn anymore, okay? And you can have your default be that you want nothing to do with it. With enough practice on this, you can get to that point. Okay, so here's another way I want you to think about it. You can, with a feeling, what happens is the feeling comes and you can actually process or metabolize that feeling, okay? So that's that. You might be wondering, like, okay, so I let the urge be there, but then how long is it going to be there for? What happens then if I don't reward it? It's just going to be there forever. It doesn't stay forever. And the time is going to be varied. It could be there just for a really short time, or for maybe several hours in a day. I've never necessarily, when I'm like really allowing it, I never had it last that long. So how long is it going to stick around? Don't worry about that as much, because if you start getting into, I just want to know so I can like get rid of this sooner, then you're going to get into that resisting and avoiding territory. So go into it thinking, I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm going to just be okay with however long it does last. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to be curious and find out. I'm not going to expect. I'm not going to force. I'm going to just let it happen and see what happens. Okay? So try to get in that mindset as you're doing this. And then your body can metabolize this feeling, this urge. It can process it, and it will pass. The feeling will pass, and you don't have to reward it. The more that you do this, the less frequent and less strong these urges are going to become. Okay? So I want you to start trying this. I want you to do this until you have 100 allowed urges, and write it down in the 100 allowed urges worksheet. In the beginning, especially in the beginning, I want you to base your success with stopping looking at porn on how many allowed urges you acquire. Okay, not on how many times you're looking at porn, but on how many allowed urges. And maybe your goal can be as simple as, I'm going to try to allow more urges without rewarding than I am going to reward those urges by looking at porn. Whatever it is for you. Um, maybe you'll be able to just allow urges from here on out and stop looking at porn. Some people can do that. So and try to just go into it curiously. Don't expect something necessarily of yourself, as much as go in curiously with this. Okay. And then what you're doing with this is, with those 3 reasons we look at porn in the beginning, is you're reducing that conditioned over desire for porn. So you're going to be obsessing less about it. And it's amazing to see how that desire, because a lot of you right now, it's that desire feels so overpowering that you have no idea how to resist it. Not resist it, but how to not reward it is what I mean to say. And then with the buffering that we talked about in the beginning, where you're trying to cover up your emotional stuff that you don't want to feel, problem with that is, as much as you're buffering out the negative, you're also buffering out the positive in your life. Okay. So when you take out pornography as a buffer and you start getting to know yourself and experiencing those emotions and having the full human experience of the negative and the positive, you're actually going to have a lot more of the positive emotions that you've also been buffering out with pornography. So you're going to be happier. You're going to feel better, more peace, whatever those joy, love, whatever feelings, positive feelings it is. You're going to have more of it when you take this buffer out. And you're going to be able to work through your negative stuff in a way that serves you better, rather than feel victim to all these negative emotions that just keep coming. I'm going to show you how to do that too, how to work through that in a way that really actually helps you. So you're not going to worry about your negative emotions as much. You're going to be able to experience them and let them happen. The other thing is that cognitive dissonance that we talked about in your lower brain and upper brain when they disagree with each other. As you're reducing this conditioned desire for porn by taking that reward out and allowing and processing the urges, there's going to be less of a fight between your upper brain and lower brain, right? And so that stress that comes from that conflict in your brain is going to reduce, and eventually even your lower brain is going to, like we said before, it's going to be in default mode of not wanting porn. So you're actually not going to have that cognitive dissonance eventually. And that's amazing. So go and do it, and let me know if you have any questions. When you get up to 100 allowed urges without rewarding, let me know, because it's a big deal, and I would love to just hear your results and experience with it, because I'm sure at that point you will be in a very different place than you are right now. Thanks, guys.